Hey, what's going on everyone? Hux21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So we are back here on the Mavs server, and we're going to go through the Earth Splinter for Rebellion. We've already gone through Fire and Water. You've heard my thoughts on those in the last two videos, and now it's time for Earth. Before we get started, Land is out, and I never got that huge into Land, but I am managing a community tract for me and the Bird Gang, or my sort of paid community. So I've played around with it. I'm down to make Land content, but I need to know what you guys want to see for now. So let me know in the comments what type do you want a general overview from me about what everything looks like or what our strategy is? I'm happy to provide either. I just need to know what you guys want to see. So think about that. Let me know in the comments. What type of Land content do you actually want from me? Without further ado, let's get into Earth. So let's start with our favorite 2-mana no attack cards that we see. The Lurking Puffer. Again, these are all very similar, right? 2 mana. No attack, perfect for weapons training. This one has a corrosive ward, silence, and then at the highest level, it picks up poison. Not bad, right? So again, if you don't use weapons training, you could stop this at level 9, because the poison doesn't really matter unless you give it an attack. So be curious to see if everyone maxes these cards out and buys into weapons training or not. The Blackmoor Trickster. So another trend we're seeing, talked about this in the other videos. Well, one, a lot of high health monsters. I'm seeing a lot of monsters with really high health. So that's interesting. 2, we're seeing a lot of unique ranged and magic units. So, 3 mana with close range. Because there's a lot of ranged only rule sets now. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's ranged only rule sets now. So you need more unique cards. As far as I know, there aren't that many low mana, sort of mini ranged tanks. And so this card's pretty unique. It's a card you're going to want, not because it's super OP, just because it fits a need. Low mana, ranged only tank. So I like this card a lot. I think it's a useful, sort of staple card, nice to have. Endless Ape, interesting. Reflection Shield, Scavenge, decent attack. It's another kind of mid-mana-ish, a little higher than mid-mana. Normally I think of mid-mana as like 6, 7, so 8. Another mid-mana tank. This is pretty Scavenge is interesting. I guess maybe you could do the Slip Spawn in the back. Although Earth doesn't really have any Resurrects, so you'd only get 1 health from that. But I guess you could also do some damage. Yeah, I could see how this could work well with the Slip Spawn. It's not that fast. What's nice is getting Reflection Shield melee, so you can sort of surprise your opponent in Thorns rule sets. I like to play my Rooney a lot in that context, because it catches people off guard. You don't generally expect opportunity in Thorns rule sets. So, a big melee tank can catch your opponent off guard as well. So this could be a cool card. It's something I'm going to need to try for myself. Ujarak Mystic. These names, man. It's going to be hard to remember these. Okay, really low attack. Lookout. So this is a lookout card, basically. Again, a pretty unique magic card. 1 magic, so you can play. You almost don't even need to give this the magic. At the highest levels, 1 magic is almost useless. But it's another option for the magic only. Lookout probably won't be that relevant for magic only. I guess there's some decent amount of snipes. And there is a new magic sneak monster in Water. Okay, I mean, this card's interesting, I guess. I don't know how much I'm playing this outside of magic only, but I would definitely consider it in magic only. Specifically, again, we talked about the first ranger, the 3 mana, close range, high health, archery or range monster. Same thing here, right? This can be a decent tank for you in low mana magic only. So I see it. Not my favorite card. Okay. This is intriguing. Another really high health card. I'm not going to complain about Snipe. This card's fine. 5 mana. I don't know how often Hunter Jarks is in Earth. So you could get a nice little range snipe team going. I've never really used Hunter Jarks. I don't see myself playing this card that much. The camo's interesting, so you can sit it in the back and it can do a decent amount of damage. But high health and camo combination is kind of interesting because, you know, this is you might want this card to be taking damage because of its high health. I think this card's fine. Little underwhelmed by Earth thus far. Blackmoor Nymph. Really high health. So Earth, is that normally? I guess Earth has some decently high health cards, but this one has Earth right now, a lot of high health. Big thing is this card in Magic only can't be nerfed because of the immunity, so you don't need to worry about all the silences in Earth. This card's fine. Again, I think it's another card you're generally going to use in Magic only. I guess for 3 mana, right, there's some context you'd put this in, like the second position. Maybe it gets 1 or 2 shots off, and then it sort of acts as a secondary tank with its decent size health for low mana. I could see it. Again, not like super excited. Yeah. A little underwhelmed by Earth thus far. So this card plays well with the Goblin Tower. But it also does have True Strike, so you could play it. It's a lot of damage. 5 is pretty annoying though, because think about how often you're going to come up against the Slip Spawn, which has the Force Field. So you almost want this to be 4 damage instead of 5. I'm probably not going to play this card that often, to be completely honest. I mean, Earth has some good reverse speed rule sets, in which case I would bring this out for sure. Slip Spawn has slow, so you generally don't see the Slip Spawn that often. So I could see myself sort of Goblin Tower. Mycelic Infantry has 1 speed. You could do like a 1 speed high damage play with Earth. Okay. I got it. Lyoceros. I love this. It's funny concept. Ooh. I like this card. Again, it's another sort of 7 mana weird tank type thing. But I like this one. You have the Slip Spawn in the back. You have this card up front, and this card kind of gets to go one-on-one with presumably a melee tank. And it has a lot of ability to go one-on-one with a melee tank. Decent speed, good attack, tons of shield and armor, plus the thorns. I really like this card. This is a fun 7 mana card. Oh, we've seen... Oh, not this guy. Or girl, sorry. We have Croer. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. Anything with heal I'm interested in. The flank, though, is really cool. So you could put this in the... Oh, so weapon training plus flank. So you're going to give 3 melee to any card it's next to. And you're going to give it reach if this is in the first position. So you could put a no attack. So you could put the Puffer that we talked about, right, in the second position. The first card in Earth we looked at. And it's going to get 3 melee and be able to attack from the second position. This is cool in general because you could put Grund, right? You could put Grund in the second position. Think about the double strike Soulbound Reward card in Water with Possibilis. You give it reach and it just does so much damage from the second position. Same thing here with Croer. You put this in the first position, you can then put Grund in the second position, and it can do massive amounts of damage. The heal is great, high health. For only 6 mana, this is a really good card. I like this. I like this card a lot. So, like, there's a lot of... My 2 favorite cards are kind of like mid-mana tanks, which are kind of weird cards. You generally don't build your lineup around mid-mana tanks. But it's nice to have. Ooh, another healer. So what have we talked about a lot? Unique ranged cards, unique magic cards. Getting a ranged healer brings another dynamic to ranged only rule sets. The Lookout's nice. We're going to have to test that to see how frequently we can sort of predict and utilize Lookout sort of proactively. I think passively there's going to be times where you bring this for a heal. You know, this is the reason why you're bringing it, is the heal with the okay amount of damage. And then the Lookout could be useful, right? I think that's how Lookout's mostly going to work, but we'll see. Besides, obviously, like super sneak rule sets, for example. Yeah. Again, unique ranged units, unique magic units, I'm all here for. Give me heals. Let me be more creative in those rule sets. 2 more to go. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because this is the card I got to reveal. But if you didn't watch my reveal video, go check it out. I dedicated sort of like 10 minutes just to this card. The Last Stand Armor Strike is a very, very, very cool. Again, unique magic card. Having a Last Stand that's a mid mana is also pretty interesting. I'm gonna play this mostly in low mana contexts. 20 mana. Try to catch my opponent off guard. I'm probably not gonna play this card in 50 mana. I just don't see myself setting up a lineup or this being good enough to carry me in a high mana rule set. But low mana, like low mana poison, where I can put some martyrs around it, I could see this card being very, very, very useful. And Armored Strike operates as a melee attack. So I think it has all the same mechanics as a melee attack, which is good for this because presumably you want the Last Stand to be in the first position. Eventually, we'll use its armor, if it has any left, as a melee attack. So, very cool. Finally, I think this one got posted on Twitter as well. Lord Thalanor. High damage. We got another rust monster in Earth. That's nice. High speed with the Amplify. I'm going to want this card. It's very expensive, though. It is very, very, very expensive. Specifically, if you run in a Magic Reflect with this, doesn't have that much health. The card's cool, right? When you see 6 speed with 4 damage, I'm interested. Scavenge, I love Scavenge. Scavenge's ability, I think, is super, super underrated. But I guess, you play the Slip Spawn, and this card can get some attacks off, but 12 is just really, really expensive for this. I'm intrigued. It's definitely a card I'm going to want. It's a card I'm going to test. But I want to try it before I sort of come all gung-ho out in favor. So overall, I would say it has some useful niche cards here in Earth, like some good ranged only options, some decent mid-mana tanks, some cards I'm excited to test. Slightly underwhelming, but we won't know until we start playing with these and see them in our final form, start implementing them with the Chaos cards in Modern. So I'm excited. Really fun. I'm enjoying going over this. Next up, we will have the Death cards. So I'm going to do Death, then Life, and then I'm going to combine Dragon and Neutral just because there's less Dragon cards. And that'll be it for me. So if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like the video so more people can see this and more people can hear the good message of Splinterlands. And then also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I enjoy making these videos for you, and that's just a quick way you can show that you're liking my content. Hope you guys are enjoying all the new stuff. Hope you're enjoying Land. Hope you're ready for Rebellion. I will talk to you guys soon, and see you around the game.